FBI says you're a member of the Colombo Mafia family.
Like I said, the FBI can allege and say whatever they like. They've been doing it for many, many years.
Old-fashioned as it may seem to some, it is my duty to serve my country. And I didn't seek this job, but I want to do it, and I'll do my very best.
There's no politics in this thing for me. Good heavens. You'd have to be hallucinating to think there was any political mileage in this kind of a job.
NATO allies and airstrikes against Serbian forces.
President Milosevic should make no mistake. The United States takes care of its own.
I would like to take this opportunity to express my regret at the death of Slobodan Milosevic yesterday morning.
Americans in general seem to be under the impression that direct, open, and provocative attitudes are the way to protect, project, and enforce strength. From local micro-level leadership roles to roles that impact the world. Can we blame the general populace though? Pop culture enforced what people may secretly wish would happen. A dynamic leader, it's the core of populist politics. However, let's walk it back from the world stage. If methods and tactics can't be applied on a local level and be successful, then how could a national change ever happen? Nobody runs a marathon before they walk, and before any success can be applied at a large level, interest in being able to maneuver people's competing objectives, motivations, and expected outcomes needs to grow, be refined, and be perfected. This is the long game. Edward Bernays is one of the most influential pioneers of American public relations and propaganda. In fact, that's what his most well-known book is about. When smoking was seen as a purely masculine activity, he successfully rebranded the whole concept by nicknaming cigarettes torches of freedom, and even feminist Ruth Hale encouraged other women to join in the rebellion. One of his most interesting phases of work included working for the United Fruit Company, but that's a whole other story that's best left to creators who do explainer videos. To understand this man, he did indicate that he felt that masses of people were irrational and prone to herd instinct in general. While it's not a very nice way of seeing things, can we say he was wrong? Controlling emotional responses of the people as a group became a driving force in the arguments and debates we see going forward from the 1910s. It doesn't matter how many times you say facts don't care about your feelings. The fact is that nothing moves people to action faster than feelings. The desire to protect, or to be perceived as the perfect embodiment of some kind of thought, some group ideal. Look at what happened to Bud Light and Target. It wasn't right or wrong facts that moved people to act. It was a collective emotional response. The same can be said about the lockdowns, the response to 9/11, religion, politics, the cult of celebrity. The vast majority of human action is dictated on an emotional cost-benefit analysis, whether that person knows it or not. Let's examine the archetypal lion of a leader in an action movie. They take no prisoners. They're willing to destroy a city block in order to take on one bad guy, and civilians are only collateral damage. They say everything with no filter.
Only best buddies execute pedophiles together.
We cheer these people on in movies only because the framing says they're the good guys. In real life, we tend to not like these people. Taking no prisoners is the Malmedy massacre. Destroying a chunk of real estate with a worrying amount of civilian collateral damage has people thinking about the Waco tragedy. Everything said with no filter actually gets people angry if they're not on board with you all the way. Just look at Trump or Tate.
I knew it would be a hit piece, of course.
If you are trying to win people onto your side, it's important to convince people to go your way through a mix of facts and bringing emotion onto the table by really showing people how their lives could be improved. This is where the element of the fox comes into play. The fox isn't physically imposing. They're perceived in cultures to be trickster animals that can navigate through situations with cunning, intelligence, and deception. The fox is the shadow image of the lion. Machiavelli wrote in his book The Prince that a leader must appear to be like a lion and to think like a fox. Politically and culturally, this has become more readily adapted by people who study these things academically. In another book, Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, one of the laws says to think as you like, but behave like others. That allows you to work towards your ultimate goal, and not fall under the proverbial or literal blade of a guillotine. It is rare that these qualities meet in the middle, but they have, and many people might actually get angry with who has most successfully pulled this off in recent American politics. Barack Obama has many such contradictions, notably campaigning under anti-war and immigration reform.
Still believe that enduring security and lasting peace do not require perpetual war.
However, US war efforts led to increased targeting, even leading to a drone strike where an American miner was killed due to his relation to the target.
There's no doubt that civilians were killed that shouldn't have been.
Under Obama, deportation of immigrants rapidly picked up pace, earning him the nickname Deporter-in-Chief.
The Latino community has been furious for years, saying President Obama has deported more undocumented workers than President Bush did.
And yet, even today, he is celebrated by the people who supposedly support anti-war efforts and immigration at all costs. This base of knowledge, like anything in life, can and is habitually abused by people addicted to maintaining or increasing their own power. But it pays to pay attention to why and how, to study it, and to apply it. Just like any useful tool, the end result is the reflection of the intent of the wielder. Understand, in the long game, you may have to cede some ground, but it pays to think in terms of ramifications farther down the road, if your goal is a long-term and sustained change. The basic gist of this free-form stream of thoughts is this. The nature of power and shaping a narrative is an art and a science. It's crafted the culture you see today, and your participation, or lack of it, can still shape it, because people in power will attempt to stay in power according to what a majority of the people want. These lessons and this insight can be used in any leadership role, whether at a neighborhood watch meeting, a platoon-level huddle, local politics, mid-tier management roles, a C-suite level position in the company, whatever. Even the smallest bit of influence, like raising a family, can become a drop in a wave that becomes a tsunami. The point is that people learn these views, and then apply them and become movers and shakers of their spheres. One of the best ways to prepare for the future is to shape it. If you don't, you'll only be reacting forever. You'll always be a step behind. Until the next video, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.